How does a 13th century castle, once protected as a historic monument, end up completely abandoned? This architectural masterpiece was built in the 13th century by the Valliere Dynasty, a lineage of knights who erected it as a fortified stronghold to guard the vital trade routes weaving through the valley. With its thick stone walls, a surrounding moat and a fixed bridge, the castle was a fortress of its time, an unyielding symbol of defense and resilience. But the story doesn't end there. By the 16th century, Italian Renaissance influences began to shape its design, blending elegance with the castle's original defensive character. Fast forward to the 19th century, when new owners reimagined the structure, incorporating contemporary architectural styles that transformed the castle into the stunning French Renaissance gem we see today. Despite its grandeur and charm, this extraordinary place now lies heartbreakingly forgotten, a place of immense potential, left with no one to care for its future, seemingly doomed to fall into ruin.
Welcome back everybody to the Bros of Decay. I am Leslie and today I'm standing in a 13th century abandoned castle in France. And this place is abandoned since 2013 when its last owner, Charlotte, passed away. She was working at the time on renovating this place and making it back how it used to be, but she never got to finish her project, which is a very sad reality. And her children and grandchildren also don't seem to care about the historical significance of this building. But we are here today to document its history and bring that to you all. And I also have to thank Leslie, it's a friend from Mexico, so yes, you heard that right. She's also called Leslie and we are Team Leslie today filming this place. So thanks Leslie, and let's film this place.
I've been creating videos for over a decade right now, showing the most amazing abandoned places around the world. But what a lot of you don't see is the countless hours of editing, filming, lighting, music design, thumbnail and titles that we put into creating these videos. And that's where this video sponsor InVideo changes the game. It unlocks your creativity and takes your stories and ideas and makes them into fully fledged videos. No filming or editing required. Imagine you want to make a video about an abandoned 14th century castle in France. You just input the prompt into the text field, click generate, select what you want, and InVideo will create a fully polished video based on your original tale. That's where InVideo really stands out in comparison to tools like Sora and Runway. It will create fully fledged videos as they only create still images of that sort. Even better, after you're finished generating your video, you can still tweak it with the text prompt underneath it, and you can be like a director of your own video without needing any technical expertise. You can even upload a 30-second clip of your voice to make the videos even more personal.
What if I told you this isn't really me speaking? You're hearing an AI-generated version of my voice. Imagine creating content in multiple languages without learning them, or having your own personalized AI assistant with your voice. In fact, this entire monologue is AI-generated. Can you believe it?
Getting started with InVideo is free, and I recommend everybody doing it. But if you want to have the more advanced features like voice replication, definitely use my link and the code in the description, or scan the QR code on screen right now. I want to thank InVideo massively for sponsoring this week's video, and let's head on with an epic, mysterious castle.
Yeah, as you saw, we're standing right now in the hallway, but I will come later to this one because I want to take you first through these doors into the living space of the house. First and foremost, have a look at the beautiful paintings that are designed here on the door. Everything inside of this castle is meticulously designed and made to order. If you look down here, you can even see that there are some sort of initials inside of this door. Wow. Okay, let me show you the first room of this place. the wonderful living room of the castle. Everything is still pristine, how it used to be back in the day. I absolutely adore this living room. And we're going to start over here to the left by looking at the wonderful pieces of antique that have been left behind. Have a look at this massive drawer slash accountancy desk. Oh, it still opens up. I love these pieces of furniture because they mostly have like secret little compartments, but I'm not gonna keep searching because we have a whole castle to show you. But a beautiful desk nonetheless. Then above there, we have a lovely painting of a woman holding a dove. Wow. I cannot see any initials on it, but it's definitely an original piece. And if you come closer over here, you can also see the wallpaper, which is actually not wallpaper. It's sort of a tapestry slash velvet slash fabric that they put on the wall for insulation, because these castles back in the day were very cold, very big stones, and this velvet kept the room warm in the time. And it also looks very beautiful to my opinion. There's so many unique pieces to look at. For example, this small drawer over here, which is surprisingly holding one lamp. Oh, has a marble top. Probably was just a side piece left over here. Wow. And also the massive curtains. Everything in this room is made to match. The gold wallpaper, the gold curtains. Even if you look up, you can see gold touches in the ceiling. And I haven't talked about the ceiling yet. It's wonderfully designed. And to my personal opinion, this ceiling looks a lot like an Italian ceiling from an Italian palace. But we are in a part of France where there's a lot of Italian influence in the architecture of buildings. Wow. And one more thing, if you point up there, you can see around the rim of the ceiling, there are weapons crests. And those weapons crests are most likely from significant people that used to live here, or that had some importance in the castle. It's quite spectacular. I adore it. Wow. This one is absolutely insane. I've never seen such a clock piece before in an abandoned place. This is probably worth thousands and thousands of euros, and it's most definitely a unique piece. It even has this glass dome on the top of it to protect it. Wow. I love that clock. And right above it we have another wonderful painting of this lady. Again, all of them don't have a signature, so that might also insinuate that these paintings were specially made for the owners of the castle. Then we have the fireplace over here, the grand mirror above it. Again, copper, gold plating. If you focus up there on the crest, that's beautifully made. Not the crest like the crown of the mirror, it's like a young angel carved in there, playing. People were of course also very religious. We can see religious artifacts all throughout here. And then we can look from the fireplace to the middle of the room, where the family most likely sat together in the evening. You have a big table there. Even the coffee supplies are still left there. The sugar. Wow. These seats are something else. They're very beautiful. I love the red coloring on them. The stitching. Wow. And it's a very neat setup to drink some coffee. And then right behind us here in the room, we also have another setup with a desk and a drawer and a beautiful painting right above there, this lady. And from all of this, what I've shown right now, you can already see that these people were super important, very wealthy, and generations and generations of this family have built the heritage of this place. If you come over here, I have one more painting to show in this room before we're going to go further to the next one. Look at this one. I think she has a very beautiful smile. It's also wonderfully painted. And then we have this unique vase underneath it. I'm super curious to see if this is a real one. If this has a stamp at the bottom. No, it doesn't. But that wouldn't necessarily mean that it's not a real vase. Wow. A little ploof at the front. Okay. Can give another overview of this room before we go to the next one. This was already a lovely treat to start the video with. And it's only gonna get better from here on further.
Over the centuries, the castle has been owned by many families. But its most intriguing chapter begins with Charlotte, its last known owner, a determined woman who lived alone within its ancient walls after losing her family. Charlotte inherited the chateau as both a home and a legacy, dedicating her life to restoring its grandeur. Surrounded by relics of her ancestors, she worked tirelessly to preserve its history while dreaming of a full restoration. Villagers often saw her in the courtyards, pouring her heart into the castle despite immense challenges. Tragically, her health declined before she could finish her mission. In 2013, the chateau was abandoned, leaving behind an unfinished legacy and a powerful reminder of time's passage.
Just a moment ago I already showed you a crucifix, but that was not the only religious thing inside of this place. Check this out. This castle had its complete own chapel. That's actually one of the best ones that I've ever seen while exploring. I really love it and it's so cool. They even had, for some reason, an organ inside of their chapel. They were definitely very important and rich people back in the time. I think if I just go sit down and I try to play it, still gonna play it. I'm not gonna make too much noise in this place, but that's really cool to see. And all these depictions and paintings of Jesus Christ getting crucifixed are still here. Up there is a wonderful painting that's unfortunately decaying and chipping off. And right next to it, there's another one of Jesus lying on the floor. Wow. Look at these small paintings here on the wall. They are, if I'm not mistaken, the cross of the Order of Christ. Yeah, I think that's the one. They're all over the wall. Quite spectacular. Let me show you this side as well. I think here we can see the journey that Jesus Christ took to being crucifixed. It's depicted over here with all these individual paintings that we have left here. Wow. I'm not sure if they are original ones, but they sure look very, very incredible. Oh, and this is also really cool. From the window here you can see outside, you can see the creek that runs around the castle. It really looks like a medieval fortress that we are inside right now. Wow. I love that they depict the way he took to being crucifixed. Not that I am happy that he got crucifixed, but just, you know what I mean. Over here you have even all these praying chairs left behind. And each and every one of them has a different design. I've actually never seen these two that we see here in front of us before. It even has a little door where you could store your Bible or something like that inside. Some green velvet on the top of it. Oh, this one I've seen quite some times while exploring abandoned places. And now show the altar itself. This is what I said when I said it was one of the best ones I've ever seen. It's definitely this, what we're seeing here in front of us. Everything is still beautifully intact and originally how it used to be. Isn't that just wonderful? If you look here to the left of you, you even have these paintings on the wall that they painted back in the time. You can see they are already decaying up, mold is forming on them, which is very unfortunate. Statue standing here right in the window. Wow, of an angel praying. I also want you to show those two. Look like monks or like... I don't know. I don't know much about Christianity, but wow. And then for the altar in itself, there are statues everywhere, but the most prominent one is definitely the Maria that we have here in the middle. Completely gold-plated, two angels above her. She even has a crown on her head. Such a beautiful piece left in this place. Wow, the ones in front of here are also really nice. And you can even show the altar here at the front. These two ladies holding a sort of crest. And that seems like the similar initials that we saw on the door before. So those initials come back all throughout the castle. I think these sort of pillars that we have lying in front of the altar in here might have been attached somewhere up there. I'm not sure though where they came from. Wow. And here you see another one of those statues, those angels. Beautifully gold-plated again. One must be very rich to have the money to make such a chapel inside of their house. And it's really interesting. So this place has been built in the 13th century, but it also has been renovated in the 16th and 19th century. But I think this was originally 13th century because it looks like a very old chapel. And even if you look at the wall over here, you can see that it's like tilted. It's quite unique. Okay. Let me take you further, because some rooms in this place are a bit overthrown. But we have been looking throughout the castle and we couldn't find any kitchen. And this is the only thing that we found that sort of resembles a kitchen, because there's a stove back there, there's a fridge here in the corner. And yeah, it's quite a strange thing to not have a proper kitchen inside of the castle. Maybe we'll encounter it later in the video. Let me now show you the next room. This is the next room inside of the castle, and this one is absolutely incredible. This is by far one of the best dining areas we have ever shown on this channel. It is absolutely insane with all the tapestries around here. I was mesmerized when I first came into this place. So I just want to ask, if you haven't, please like the video and subscribe to the channel, and also share this video with everybody you know, because we work really hard to find these kinds of places and bring these to the internet. So you can be part of that. Definitely do that, please. Let's now show you this room, because I love those tapestries that are on the wall here. They're still so pristine. All the colors are preserved, and yeah, I'm speechless when I see them, when I first saw them. And they remind me of a castle that I've filmed before. It's one of the most beautiful and popular videos that I've made on this channel. I will definitely link that up here, so check that out if you haven't seen it. It's also with a dining room with tapestries like this one. Of course, also a huge fireplace in the middle of the room. What did you expect? Castles back in the time didn't have central heating, so they needed a source to heat up the castle. And of course, they made it very elegant, like this fireplace. I also love the crest inside of it. It's sort of a plate, a fireplace plate, but it also has the crest of the family, I think. No, it has some fleur-de-lis and a crown on top of here. It's definitely heavily used over the time. And again, one of those marble fireplaces that are beautifully designed. A huge mirror above it. Wow. And that mirror also has a crown at the top. And in this room, if you look at the ceiling, you can also see that they have weapons crests and their own initials in the ceiling. It's quite spectacular. Every single inch and corner of this place has been designed in perfection. Wow. I want to show you every single tapestry. Just take it in, look at them, and yeah, This is not often that you see something like this on an exploring channel. So definitely appreciate this moment. I even love that above the doors they have these sort of carvings. And this is one of musical instruments made out of plaster. Another one, some babies, some angels in the garden. Wow. Let me now show you the table here in the middle of this room. The grand dining table where the entire family came. Most possibly also people from outside the family came here to enjoy dinner parties. It would have been a spectacular event. And have a look at that chandelier above the dining table. It's grand, it's opulent, it's everything that you could imagine from a chandelier. That's some really cool glass work that they did in this one. I've never seen a chandelier like this before in an abandoned place. I've seen it in museums, but not in an abandoned place. This is also more a museum than actually an abandoned place. Or I would say so. It's definitely abandoned, but it shouldn't be abandoned. This one should be restored and brought back to life. Look at the size of this tapestry that we have here on the wall. It's beautiful, showing a lush garden. Even a dog is depicted in this one. The angels are walking the dog. Wow, a fountain in the background. I just love it. Another lovely tapestry here to the side. I feel like it's one big tapestry that they made and then they cut it up into pieces to fit it into this room. That might have been a possibility, but I'm not completely sure. Another side display cabinet here, all the glasses for the dinner parties inside of it. Wow. This one over here even depicts an ox. Wow, some statues up there. And then we have one more tapestry to show you in this place. And this is one of the biggest ones in this entire room. Wow. This even shows like a small village in the background over here. It's an idyllic setting. I love the lion here in the corner. His face is quite spectacular. Wow. They're still in such a good condition. It's so crazy that they're left behind. Just give one more overview of this room. It's definitely one to remember and one to cherish. I hope somebody is gonna take the responsibility of restoring this place. It's not lost, it's still in a very good shape. Let me now take you into the side room of the castle. It was also a very important room back in the time. This was the office where the business was conducted. Of course, these people were very wealthy and they had a lot of business going on, probably owned a lot of land as well. And this is where they conducted all that business. Charlotte was the last one who lived here. She was also in the army, in the French army, so maybe she did some paperwork from this room. Let's start with this piece over here in the corner. I love the clock face that we have over here. Wow. And then we also have these sort of jars here to the side of it. And they say anno 1665. So these jars might be almost 400 years old, everybody. Wow. A lovely accountancy desk slash drawer standing here. Love the wood that they used for this one. And then in the corner, right in front of the curtain, you have this sofa, which actually matches the fabric of the curtain. There's like all these monkeys on it. Very beautiful. And then an enormous wardrobe over here, filled with nothing important. Wow, I love this one with the pillars. worked into it, and the lion and everything. And then the grand desk here in the middle of the room. I have noticed that this is actually not a desk. This is a piano, everybody. If I'm not mistaken. No, this is transformed into a desk. If you would point the camera underneath here, you can even see the pedals are still left behind. But this piano has been transformed into a desk at some point, which actually is a pretty cool design. Right? Having a piano as a desk. Even has these statues at the front. And these were most likely the jars where the oil was stored for the pencils. Wow. That's wonderful. Even some papers still left behind on the desk. And this one is from 1851. This is a 170-year-old document.
I am the great-grandfather of young Charlotte. This letter was written by my hand on the 5th of November, 1816. As a businessman, I penned it to support the farmers who worked my lands. On this day, etched in ink and time, 50 souls unite their destinies to build a future guided by honor and promise. It fills me with joy to know you now walk these halls, carrying on my legacy. Enjoy your time exploring my castle.
Everything handwritten on here. Wow, it's talking about business though. I love how these letters look. This one is from 1816, 207 years old, what I'm holding here in my hand, everybody. That's some crazy stuff. And right behind the desk here, we have yet another tapestry. A very small one that's been framed. It's quite lovely though. It's all empty. There's some pieces of porcelain left inside of here. Nothing very important. Just some pieces of porcelain. Ooh. And then they also have a very small desk, maybe for the assistant here in the room. Check this one out. Oh, this one still has a stamp on it. In France. It's made in France. Wow. Beautiful face. And then in the corner of the room, here we have a desk, probably for the guests that came over, or the clients to sit down. I think those are drawings from the children of the place. Maybe Charlotte is one of them. Maybe Charlotte is the girl over there. Yeah, it's beautiful though. Oh. Now we have another display piece over here, completely filled with beautiful porcelains. Wow, that's so incredible. I also love the curved glass at the front of this display cabinet here. This was already super incredible. We have not even shown half of the castle. So let's go further. I really enjoyed that part of the castle. Absolutely fantastic, but I have more to show you. But we're back in the hallway of the place right now. Let's show this hallway, and let me start with this cabinet over here. This wonderfully carved cabinet, which is actually completely filled with crystal glasses, still pristinely standing inside of there. I love it. I don't know why it's in the hallway though. It also has this sort of fabric on the back here that makes this an absolutely extraordinary cabinet. Wow. There's so many interesting things all throughout this place. For example, also this stairway, completely made out of stone. I don't think if it's, no, it's stone, it's not marble, right? No, I'm not sure though. But it looks beautiful how it's designed, and very sturdy as well. I mean, when I say very sturdy, I mean it in a literal sense, because over there the stairway is already cracking up. But it maybe has been here already for 800 years, and they just haven't come to renovating it yet. And then here in the corner, in front of the front door, there are a couple of items left behind. I have no clue though what this is. This No, I'm not gonna make even guesses. If anybody knows what this is, please let me know. It has like a small bird on the top, which is quite special. And this was probably the chandelier that hung in this hallway. Wow, it's incredibly heavy. And that's most definitely the one that was hanging here. Also show the front door. It's quite beautiful. It said, even has a small phrase up there, sub cruce virisson, and it's probably something religious because it has a crucifix at the top of it. Wow. Wow. We're now gonna see the other section of the castle. So we have that complete section and this complete section over here. Yes, please go into the first room over in this section. And I've already thoroughly studied it through this room, and this looks like the room where Charlotte used to sleep in at last. This was her last room. It also still made and is on the downstairs floor. There's a lot of man's clothing, however, in here, but we are pretty certain that the last inhabitant was Mrs. Charlotte. Wow. Very small blue bed with a shirt still lying up, even some ties and everything. Wow, even a beautiful Bible is left here. Some gold plating on the side. It's a wonderful book. Some fax machines, some printers. Oh, this book is also actually super interesting that's lying over here. Look at that piece. Wow. Oh, that's amazing. Even has some music notes in there. It's most likely the book that the priest would read in front of the church. That was a church service. This picture of a mill or something like that. Wow. Here's a small desk that's completely littered with stuff. But you can see a very important piece on here is this carte du combattant. And this is actually directed to Charlotte. You can see here a picture of Charlotte. And carte du combattant was actually a card for the military. If you worked for the military back in the time in France. That card is from 1975. Even her gloves and everything are still left here. And one important thing that's also left here is this photo. Let me turn it properly around. This is a photo of the renovation works that were going on. And this was in the dining room of the place before it was restored. And now the room looks a whole lot different than in this picture. So she definitely got to some sections of the place, but upstairs we're going to see that a lot of the renovation works were still underway when she passed away. I also find this one really interesting. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's some sort of a projector or something, but I'm not sure. It looks beautiful though. Huh. So much stuff of this lady still left behind. A whole box full of her jewelry, her pearls, everything you can imagine is still in here. Even down here on the floor. Wow. This looks like a complete tray of just diamonds. They're probably synthetic diamonds, but geez, that would be crazy if those were real diamonds. Just gonna put them up here. Some animal fur lying here. Even more of her jewelry just left here, lying in a box. Then here to the side, we have a still very beautiful grandfather's clock. The clock face in the middle. Oh, can I open this up? No, it doesn't open up anymore. It's a really beautiful piece, made in Paris. Wow. Okay. I really adored this room. This gave us a bit of a perspective into the life of Charlotte that once lived here. Wow. This section of the castle is more the section where Charlotte used to live. The other rooms were more of a display room or just nice rooms inside of the castle. And these are all the medical equipment and medical stuff that you used to need back in the time. All our bandages and everything are still left here. We have a painting here on the wall of a quiet town and a woman carrying some wood. Let me show you now in this room, because I think it's also quite spectacular. This was another one of the desk areas inside of this place. Really beautiful room inside of the house. Wow. Okay, close the door behind us. I just start with the door over here. It's really wonderfully painted and in the style of the room as well. Just close this up. And here you can look at the paintings. It's a very rough painting, as you can see. Very thick layers of paint have been used to make these. And every single painting inside of this place doesn't have a signature, which is quite strange. This looks like an altar, but now there's like a painting hanging here in the middle, and a painting down here. Oh wow, you even have a couple of pictures left behind. These young boys. That's beautiful. Wonderful clock face over here with its statue at the top. My God, it's beautiful. And if you point up from here, you can see that even the ceiling of this room is beautifully designed. There's an angel at the top, worked onto woodwork. Wow. Standing in the corner of the room here, we have sort of a mannequin. Probably it was part of the room, or part of the decoration of the room. I don't think anybody was a seamstress or something like that inside of this place. I also love the painting that we have behind here. And this one, however, does have a signature on it. So of a woman walking through the fields. Very beautiful, very elegant. And then in the middle of the room is the desk where the work would be conducted on. I don't know whose desk this was, maybe of her husband or maybe of herself. Even their binoculars are still left behind. Wow. Wonderful desk over here. I haven't shown it yet, but right above this cabinet here is a battleship. Complete miniature model of a battleship with sails and everything. Still completely filled with her clothing, neatly folded, just like the day she left this place behind. Actually quite sad. And there's a couple more things over to this side. I want to show you the fireplace, the clock on it, painting next to it. Wow. And above there is another painting of a lady lying on the bed. The man seems very upset. Wow. A couple more paintings over here. Oh. Wow. That's really beautiful. Okay. What a wonderful section of the castle. I still have to show you something before we go upstairs. We haven't seen any basement in this place yet, and I just figured out where that must have been. So let's go over there right now. Right here behind the door in the living room, there is a stairway that can lead us to the basement of this place. Oh. And here you can see how the building is literally falling apart. My God, in some rooms it still looks so neat, and in other rooms it's literally falling into pieces. Even the side over there is detaching from the wall. Oh my gosh. I have to be really careful going down the staircase because it's slowly falling into pieces. Oh, that's even worse, that's even worse. Okay, let's go. Whew. This basement looks really rough. Yeah, we're definitely at the water level right now. You can see the water over here through the window. It's getting closer. It's cool that this whole castle is surrounded by water. Ooh, that seems interesting. There's a little tunnel going there. I'll let you go first. Looks like a secret passageway of some sort. I think I already know what it is. Oh yes. Look at that, everybody. this is the well of the house. Oh my. And this goes into the back garden. Oh, it's actually not that deep. Oh, it's raining in there. I think they used this back in the time for their water supply. Wow. Okay. I love all these sort of tunnels that you have in these abandoned castles. Especially when they're very old. There are a lot of secret passageways and tunnels. Some interesting things down here. For example, this chair here in the corner. The wheelchair that they probably self-fabricated. Oh, and here's a doorway. It has a stairway right into the water. Can we see that on camera? It's difficult to see, but you can see the water around the castle from here. Wow. Okay, interesting basement. But now, let's head upstairs. Oh my god, this is a grand stairway. Look at the sheer size of this beauty. Wow. They must have felt very important whenever they came up to go to bed. So we end up here in the hallway upstairs. Even here you have all those inscriptions on the wall. You can see 1850s, 1820s, all designed here. So that's probably when they restored the castle in the 19th century. They put all those beautiful paintings up on the wall. Let me show you this side first. So there's some really interesting rooms that I want to showcase. And you can also see that the upstairs is much newer than the downstairs. And some sections of it have already been restored. For example, this one. And I think also this bedroom had some restoration. It's a beauty. It's definitely a beauty. Look at this wonderful bedroom. Everything is still present. It looks like a children's bedroom. There's a lot of toys here, for example, this rocking horse that we have over here. What's quite interesting is it has a sticker on there with a price. Maybe they did try to sell some things, but I have no clue why. And then this built-in bedroom, that's a very common French thing to see, where they literally encave the bed into the wall, the curtains and everything matching it. I think it's quite special. And also lovely to see that the bed is still made. Wow. Into the next beautiful artifact. Look at that. This is a baby stroller, everyone. But back probably from the 18th century or early 19th century. Looks amazing. It's unlike anything we have nowadays. In the corner of the room here, we have this lovely clock. Again, a statue above it. You can definitely see that this room has been renovated. There's no wallpaper anymore, which was very common back then. All the rooms had wallpaper. Now they just painted it. It's easier, it's more convenient. An upholstery chair standing here in the corner as well, with some incredible woodwork at the bottom. Really adore it. The upholstery on it is also quite nice. My gosh. It's a lovely little room. Really enjoyed it. Definitely a children's room. And to me it looks like they were in the process of renovating this castle, most likely to make it into some sort of a B&B or to make it into some sort of a hotel. Because you can see, if you come over here to this room, looks pretty simple and looks like a room that they could rent out and that they could turn into some sort of a B&B. As you can see, everything is still neatly made. The beds are like welcoming. It's in essence a very simple room for such a grand place, because normally I would expect there to be paintings on the wall, statues everywhere, clocks and everything, but they're not present. table here, 2 chairs around it. And then behind it here, we come into the bathroom of this room. As you can see, quite special bathroom. The black bathtub, and even has these claw bathtub feet underneath them. Love to see that. Wow. Yeah, and from here you could go into another room, this upstairs area, and this is most likely what was the servants' rooms or the workers' rooms, the people in this castle. Most of the rooms of this upstairs floors are not much anymore. I think they all moved out and they started to clear them out for renovation. But this one is still quite nice, to my opinion. Wow. This is what I would more think of when I think of a castle bedroom. But you can definitely also say that this one has been renovated and has been completely painted, just like the other one. I love that they even painted the radiator in the same color of the walls. And everything is still very pristine in this room. It's a lovely painting at the back of the bed over there. And here we have a sort of vanity. Everything's still on top of it. Oh, look at this drawing I have on top of here. This lady and this man probably just got married. And underneath it we have sort of a marble statue of a man sort of scratching his feet. Well, quite cool. Oh, you place that back. And then here we have the fireplace. And on top of the fireplace there is a couple of beautiful clocks left behind. First and foremost, look at this one. Still neatly underneath the glass dome to prevent it from busting up. And here this one is a very heavy piece. I can see it just from looking at it. The clock face still in there. Maisonneuve. That's in Paris if I'm not mistaken. And this one is also quite spectacular. Wow. Yeah. And over to this side of the room is just a mountain of stuff. And this is all done because they were in the process of restoring this place. And I will show you now something, this castle, that's actually quite sad. Because Charlotte was working hard on making this place back into something of value. And she was working hard on that every single day. And you can see that this room. The renovation works stopped here in 2013. She was working busily on this room, and she was even crafting paintings here on the wall. You can see over here a half-finished painting of Charlotte. She drew the lake, she outlined the trees over here, but she never actually got to finish the painting. What a sad reality. Here's another one of those examples. This one she had completely finished, and she was just in the process of drawing a tree here in the middle to make the painting complete, but she never actually got to finish that. Wow. And this one is actually finished, which is quite nice. Okay. I found it incredible to go throughout this place. This is definitely belongs in the top 5 castles that I've ever filmed on this channel. If you thought so too, definitely hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and write a nice comment down there. I want to thank Leslie behind the camera for helping me out. Thank you. And yeah, with that all said, I hope you enjoyed the video, and we'll see you next week in another epic exploration. Bye bye. I love you.